Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Kruz, aka Kruzadar, and this is kind of a little sequel to my content creation video that you can check out here and will be in the description. It's been a while since I've made one of these. I've got some more time to do recording. A lot has changed since then. Obviously, I've grown, there's been a lot more things that have happened, and so I've got more time to do some recordings, and so I've been kind of itching to do a follow-up for this for probably a few months now. I've talked about it on stream for a few months, and so I'm gonna go ahead and do it today. I also feel like it's a good opportunity to do it right now because there's been a huge discussion on the hate raids and stuff that have been going on Twitch. A lot of people not knowing the moderation tools that they have access to and all that other stuff. So this is going to be essentially my video on my advice for moderation on Twitch, what you can do to protect yourself. So my personal opinion is you as a creator on any platform, whether it be Twitter, whether it be you're on Instagram, whether you're making videos on TikTok, whether you're making videos on Twitch or YouTube, you should know what your resources are to protect yourself. I feel like it is a lot of the times up to the creator what kind of community they're going to build. And if you don't know how your moderation tools work, you're going to struggle with building a very solid community. And at the end of the day, as I say in that content creation video too, you set the precedent for what kind of community you're going to curate. If you allow people to just spread hate rhetoric, constantly arguing in your comment section on different platforms, that's the community you're going to grow. That's the community that's gonna how they're end up being treating you. So how can you prevent that in your Twitch chat and also protect you from things like hate raids? So I also want to disclose that I have dealt with hate raids since I've literally started streaming. They used to be a lot worse than what they are now because Twitch moderation has changed a lot, the tools that creators have access to. So just for kind of an example, back in the day, I've been on Twitch since 2014, didn't start streaming until 2015. I've had nasty hate raids from 4chan. I had people literally make shit up, get hundreds of people and bots to come into my channel, go in depth on like super nasty threats, things they were going to do to my family. And this is when I was like a 5-viewer Andy playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, just to put things into like perspective. Okay. So I'm not new to this. It wasn't just like I've had this happen on multiple occasions. It's not as bad anymore because again, the moderation tools that we have access to are way better than what they used to be. I get it. I know what a lot of these people are going through, but the biggest thing I can give you advice for streaming in general too, like in terms of moderation, is try to not give that shit attention. Those people want a reaction out of you. So what I did at that point in time was I pretty much called all my buddies in that had access to mods, and I modded some extra people, and they just cleaned house, and I didn't look at chat for like 20 minutes. So like, you know, my buds that I was playing with, like, took time out. I kind of poked fun at it because that was going to catch them all off guard, things like that. So it's something you have to prepare yourself for, and you gotta have thick skin as a creator. If you feed into these people, they get a lot worse. And it's not fair that you can't necessarily talk about those things, and it is a conversation that does need to be had, but you need to use the tools that you can use to protect yourself and your community. The first one I'm going to get into is the people you mod. You should be really, really strict with. You shouldn't just be modding anybody. You shouldn't be modding your friend just super willy-nilly. You shouldn't be modding someone that is your top donator. You need to be modding people that are not gonna be yes men either, in my personal opinion. You need people that are going to support you, that are going to check you when you need it. You need to be modding people that set a good example in chat. They're gonna do their job when they're in chat. All that bullshit. I've done a mod overhaul twice with my Twitch channel since 2015. I've cleared house on mods twice, and if you notice people are in your chat and they've got a sword and they're not going to use it, why do you have them as a mod? Like, there's no point in having them there for that. Also, someone that's a mod and being a dick to you in chat and not respecting what you're going to say is an issue. You shouldn't have those people modded. You shouldn't be modding people that are going to threaten you. I think that's a reason you should, like, anytime modding a top donator is a huge red flag, because a lot of those people will turn shit against you so fast the minute you don't give them what they want, and when they're buying their way into mod, that's not going to end well. It used to be a lot bigger deal than it was, and a lot of streamers started kind of pushing like, hey, you should really not do this. And I'm glad I never did, because I saw streams back in 2014 that really fucked up with that, and they started banning people left and right, just randomly, kind of ruining communities, like all that shit, just banning people without them knowing, all that crap. So be picky about who you mod. You know, make sure they know what they're doing. If you want to mod someone that you think has a good potential to be a mod, walk them through what they need to do. I've modded several different people that actually never originally modded but were interested in it, and I took the time to sit outside of stream to show them what to do. I showed them, you know, you should really look into getting and this goes for people modding in general. FFZ and Better Twitch TV have really nice tools that will help you mod on top of using the moderation view that you have access to as a mod now on Twitch. So I really recommend looking into those. You can color code the timeout, the delete button, the ban button. You can add extra buttons on there for you if you want to go, like, not have to click on the name to do a 1 hour timeout. There's a lot of different stuff on there. It takes a bit to get through, but I would really recommend looking into those. Teach your mods how to do that anymore. A lot of my mods, if I ask them to, because we do have enough now and my stream's bigger and stuff, they will kind of also help with one another. I also really recommend, if you have mods, have a moderation channel in your Discord. If they need to discuss over what the right moderation decision is, or if you need to step in, that's an appropriate place to get it done so that your community does not know about it. For example, we've had misbans or people ban and not sure if that was the right decision, so they did attempt timeout, and they pretty much have like a 60-second to a 10-minute window to overturn that decision or make it a permanent ban in case something's misinterpreted. So my mods will go back and forth and review those with one another, and if it's fine, they unban the person. If they thought it was misinterpreted, I should say. If it is something that was looked wrong and they look at all the logs and stuff together, they permaban them. But that's if stuff is, like, again, on the fence. I've got a system in place where I've literally made a massive fucking Google Docs sheet to share with all of my mods on rules for the channel and anytime there's been a question over stuff that they've had. I really recommend doing the same if you're a streamer. If you're gonna, well, especially if you're gonna like grow and stuff, it makes it easier for your mods to know what these decisions are. Maybe I can do, if you guys are interested and you want me to, I would love to hear the feedback. I am more than happy to share what I used for chat rules with you guys. If you guys want to kind of see what that document looks like. It's not really anything private. I think it's stuff that has helped keep my chat clean. For me having, 1,500 concurrent viewers on Twitch, I think my community is insanely clean, and I get comments on it all the time that my chat is sarcastic and like family and everybody can goof around. But because we are strict on what those lines are for what is acceptable and what is not, we really don't have any issues with the community at all. It protects people, it keeps them safe, people can still have fun while keeping shitheads out of chat, and genuine shitheads. And that's not to say that there's not a chance for like forgiveness. It depends on the line that's crossed, and I even have that clarified in my moderation sheet that I share with my mods. So I would recommend making a mod sheet of rules, steps for your mods to follow, things like that. That can help a lot. Helps in terms of them, like, I've had mods sometimes butt heads in the past over what they agree or disagree with, and whatever we end up deciding is the proper protocol to follow for that, we put it down on the sheet, and so they can easily go back if they need to ever double check it, Control F that document for that rule. So I keep it super plain and straightforward. I give specific examples in there. Like, I'm pretty certain I spent like 12 hours making that document so that it was highlighted appropriately, color-coded how they needed it, easy for search terms, a lot of stuff. And that's also taking longer because my ADHD is bad and I just kind of hyper-focused on it. So there's also that. Mod sheet, mod sheet. What else was I going to say? Social media in general has a really useful tool, and it's called the blacklist filter. Instagram has it. Twitter doesn't really have it, aside from that you can filter out keywords that way. YouTube has it. Twitch also has it. So what you need to do to access this page is you go to, on your dashboard, you click on the settings cogwheel, and then there's a moderation tab. It's right above stream summary and right below channel. So once you are then on that moderation page, or you can type in dashboard.twitch.tv/u/ insert your username, /settings/moderation. That will also take you to it. If you want to type it out, I'll have it on screen here. So you go to that page. Under that page, there is under auto mod controls, there's block terms and phrases. And then you can also go down to chat rules. Under auto mod controls, there's this page called block terms and phrases. I really, really recommend using that to add anything and everything that you can. So under that, just because the block terms and phrases is under auto mod, I think it's a misconception that you have to have auto mod on for that to be enabled. What it means in terms of auto mod controls is that it will prevent people from typing any of those things in chat. So things that I recommend adding in there, your address, whatever your real name is, put racial slurs under there, anything that can be used horribly against you, any threatening words, that can help out a lot. You know, if there's a lot of words that are used at you negatively that you don't want to deal with moderating in chat, there's a lot of different steps. It kind of depends on what it is for you, what you need, really any of that shit. If you need to put family members shit on there, phone numbers, if you need to put, you know, harassment phrases, things like that. There is a lot of shit you can put in there. I've shared my list with a few different people. I forget exactly, so you can't export it, which really sucks. But how many words do I have in here? I have 557 currently, and we kind of cleaned house on some of them the other day. But my chat, it makes my mod's job so much easier. It makes dealing with hate raids and all that other shit so much fucking easier. Ever since they added that, I want to say they added it, I think 3 or 4 years ago. It's a fairly newer tool that they added in, but it wasn't a thing back in the day, and you just pretty much had to have mods on staff, and it sucked. You could use Nightbot and Fossabot to also use for blacklist terms and phrases. However, here's my personal thoughts on using Nightbot and Fossabot, or whatever bot it is that you use to filter out hate words. Make it as fucking hard as possible for those people to get around that filter. This is why I say that, okay? 9 times out of 10, those people will get really fucking annoyed that they can't type certain things, that they're going to leave your channel. Or what they do the other times, they'll type it in a different way that it looks funny. Your chat, your community, yourself are going to chuckle that they did something that looks really fucking stupid with their text to get around it. And then you know what you do? You take that stupid looking text and then you add that also into your blacklist filter. And then it makes it 10 times harder for the next person that tries to do something like that. So, and then you ban them. And it's super easy. And then you have, it's an easier report then too. You can, cause like it shows that that person really made an extra effort to try and get out of the way and say something really nasty. But that's what we do. I don't like using just the bot for that, because then those people are able to type those words in your chat, and then your community is also seeing that. And it also will make your community get kind of rowdy when they're seeing those things. You want to, if you can, as a streamer, keep your community from arguing and also giving those people negative attention. From a moderation standpoint, I would really recommend your mods to not allow people to really antagonize people that are being shitty, and don't let people backseat mod in that regard. I have a rule kind of with my community is, you know, don't give those people attention unless it's something we've like poked at for a bit. Don't show those people the light of day. Don't argue with them. That's what they want. They want the community to get riled up. Once they start seeing people, especially start posting paragraphs, it's going to get worse because more and more people will start getting in on it. All that nasty shit. Then you also have to worry about your community members that are loyal and are chill, that are now triggered, possibly also getting banned if that antagonist decides to go ahead and report those people. You have to be really careful about that shit. So it protects your community members, and you're keeping those shitheads out of chat. I recommend using any blacklist filter on any platform for slurs, really nasty threats, and things like that. Helps a fucking ton. And add any other words in there that you get thrown at you very nastily a lot as well. I highly recommend it. So there's that. The blacklist filter. You can use automod. Automod, I think, is really hit and miss unless you have mods that are active all of the time. My blacklist filter is so good that automod doesn't do shit. I went on the front page of Twitch. We had, I think, about 30,000 people. I think we did hit 30,000 people. I did a Jack in the Box sponsored stream. We had automod on. I think automod caught 5 messages. My mods, like our blacklist filter and my mods took care of like everything. Chat was so fucking clean. The amount of people I had come in and say, wow, this is the cleanest fucking stream, larger viewer stream I've been in. Like I take pride in that. That's awesome. Everybody was having a good time and goofing around. Like it was kick ass. It was awesome. I was so proud of my mods. I like tweeted out. I told them like several times in the mod chat after stream, I was like, you guys are fucking killing it. You guys did awesome tonight. I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. All that stuff. And they got a lot of like awesome feedback from the community too. Like I always, you know, keep your mods like uplifted, you know, support them. Don't be rude to them. You're gonna have disagreements and shit like that, but like, you know, your mods really fucking help you out. Don't take that for granted. I feel like a lot of people, especially when you grow and stuff, a lot of people tend to lose their head, or it goes to their head, and kind of the ego overfeeds, and you have to be really careful about that. So I guess that's what I'm getting at is don't treat your mods poorly. And that your blacklist filter auto mod. If you struggle with having mods and stuff like that, auto mod's not bad, but then you're gonna have to read and like decide if that message can be accepted or denied to go through. Auto mod gets kind of messy. I think that's a good idea, but in hindsight, it is hit and miss. And then you have permitted terms and phrases. Like if you want to block links from chat but you want to allow like clips for your channel through, what you can do is you can go into permitted terms and phrases and you can add certain words that you're like, hey, this is okay, or these are okay links that you can go ahead and have in your chat. Super, super helpful. Really recommend checking that shit out. Chat rules. I feel like a lot of people, it's a good moderation concept. You have to be careful about how much you do with it, in my opinion. So one of the things I say is, or my thoughts on it, I suppose, why regurgitate the terms of service in your panels? Or on your chat rules page under the moderation page itself. There's a chat rules section. So when a new person goes to chat, they type and they select the chat. So what I mean is, it is quite literally against the terms of service for you to allow and encourage racism and allow it in a community and type it on Twitch at all. Why are you regurgitating that in your chat rules? It's already in the terms of service. If someone's doing that, ban them. You don't that's my thought. If someone's being racist, just fucking ban them. Don't let them sit around just because you don't have it in your terms of service. So what I literally put in my chat rules that people can see says use common sense. It's an English stream. Abide by Twitch's terms of service. You acknowledge that the streamer uses sarcastic humor. So people can't get butthurt when they take something too seriously, but also abide by Twitch's terms of service, which is literally you cannot harass, you can't use hate speech, you are not to encourage hate speech, all this other shit. You can go look at it, the Twitch terms of service, all it gets into, but anyone that then breaks those, you have every right to ban them. And you can literally say, yeah, you're not following the site's code of conduct, and odds are they're probably gonna get banned anyways. If your mods can, and someone is genuinely breaking Twitch's terms of service, report them if you can. Unban requests. I don't think you should have people allowed to do requests within less than a 24-hour period. And so this is my thought process on that. A lot of people, when they fuck up, will say nasty things in retaliation, even when they know they fucked up. When you give someone at least a day to sit there and think about what they've did or done, I don't know why I said did. When you have allow someone to sit there and think about what they've done and where they fucked up, odds are they'll actually learn from that behavior. If you change your unban request to less than a day and put it within hours or minutes that they're allowed to submit that unban repeal, you're way more likely, in my experience and my opinion, to have repeat offenders or people not genuinely mean their apology. I am also against unban request videos. While we're on the topic of unban requests, purely because I don't think it's fair for viewers to have to sit there to appeal their bans for content. And I mean this in the sense of the amount of times moderators are human. They're going to fuck up sometimes. I don't feel it is fair when someone has genuinely learned from that behavior and adjusted themselves and all this other stuff, on top of if you have the other side of the spectrum where someone was wrongly banned. I don't feel it's fair for their unban requests to sit there for weeks and months just because a creator wants to do an unban request video. At the end of the day, it is entirely up to you on if you want to do that content or not. The only reason I haven't made that video, and I even have people from my community want me to do that, I don't feel it's fair. And a good chunk of the time, the people that are submitting nasty unban requests, one, wants the creator to see that and feel really shitty about themselves and tear them down, or two, rile up the creator and the community if they get exposure to that. It's not worth giving those people the light of day. I'd rather my mods look at it, genuinely take care of it, and if they do not know and need me to make the ultimate decision at the end of the day because they cannot decide amongst themselves, they then approach me about it. That's how I feel about those. The unban request is a really, really, really nice feature. You have to enable it. It's not on by default, and it's under that moderation page again. But it's a newer feature that they put in within the last year. What actually had happened was a lot of people started to create Google Docs pages, myself included, for people to submit unban request appeals. We actually had a bit of a rogue mod issue. So we kind of changed, we overhauled some things and people were able to, we changed moderation and we allowed people to do requests, and we didn't catch wind of it until after it was like a very unfortunately discreet thing that was going on. And so we made changes accordingly and we nipped it in the butt and we unbanned people that were wrongly banned. We went and we dug through everything, and then we also had to have people submit stuff. So that helped out a lot, and it was a way for people to get back. And it also, in my opinion, saved your mods' ass from constantly having to have their whispers on. Whispers are really toxic. People like message stupid shit all the time. I really recommend, unless you initiate whispers, probably default having them off. As a creator, you should have your whispers off. In general, I think. I don't think you should have DMs open on any platform. It's not right. And on multiple levels, you cannot realistically message every single person out there. It sets a really awkward precedent for your viewers, as well as it puts you in a sticky situation. So this is kind of what I mean by that. A lot of people will say stupid shit for attention or harass you. As a female creator, I turned it off very early on. Same with like my Steam friend requests, you know, playing with people on stream and then finding out that they're going to harass me after because I won't give them my phone number. They were chill during a game and then messaged me super weird shit after, and I was like, yeah, we're not doing that again. So I don't really add people, or I do not keep them added, even off of just one gaming experience, like things like that. So DMs though kind of go with that because that's where it took place, was messages on Steam. So, you know, I've heard people deal with it. There's guys that'll send you nasty stuff, especially as a female creator. You're gonna have dudes that message you asking for lewds or porn, whatever you call it, whatever is the more appropriate term there, that you don't want to deal with. Those are creeps. You shouldn't be. It's gonna, one, gross you out when you get those most of the time. Two, you are not allowed to talk about that stuff on the platform. If you participate in that and if that is a troll account messaging you that shit and you accept that, you're gonna get banned for that because you are selling sexual services on a platform that you are not allowed to be doing that on. So you're doing that through your Twitch DMs. You're just gonna get yourself in trouble. Don't do that. Don't have them open for that. The other one being, people are nasty and will send you nasty messages. Someone doesn't agree with you, whether they don't like the way you look. People hate on hates on everyone for very, very silly reasons, stupid reasons, irrational reasons. Comes down to jealousy and hatred and envy and all that nasty shit. A lot of people not thinking life's fair, not getting what they want, and so rather than reflecting on themselves, they shove that onto other people. What I would recommend doing, turn it off. You also don't want to deal with people messaging you. People do the same thing in DMs as they will in Twitch chat, posting suicidal messages for attention just to trigger a creator. People will do that in DMs. I've seen a lot of people have to deal with it on Twitter, deal with it on Instagram, deal with it on Twitch, all because they have their DMs open. And then they feel obligated to message those people. And that's a lot of the time what those people want. I'm sure there are genuine people out there at the end of the day that need help and someone to talk to, but it is not fair to you who does not have time for that. It's not fair that that person is putting that mental strain on you. It's not fair that they put it on your community members. It's not fair to that person themselves, if they are genuinely doing that, to reach out to someone they don't know that cannot help. There's a lot of things. It's just, it's not fair. You shouldn't be expected to be that on-call person. It creates a very weird parasocial relationship that's going to cause issues with other community members down the line. And that's not to say you can't hang out or you can't talk with your community members, but having it open to where that is possible 24/7 will lead to issues and will really fuck with your mental health. It's really hard stuff to deal with. You hear that crap. Follower mode. I don't think most people should have it on in general, but once you hit around kind of the 500 viewer plus threshold, I think it's something you should start considering. It will help you deal with less shitheads in chat, especially when moderation around that point is kind of a bit of a learning curve for people. So I wouldn't say like at less than that you really need it, so you could probably have it off. I currently, as a 1500 concurrent viewer streamer, I have mine on a 10-minute follower mode. It's less bullshit that I have to deal with from people, a bunch of other crap. I've actually been considering changing it to just any followers in general to see how that goes and kind of test it out. But I've had it on 10-minute follower mode for the last 2 years and I've had zero issues. Like, it cuts down on a lot of bullshit. It hasn't really changed numbers or anything at all in the channel. It cuts back on shitheads. I also don't really care too much personally about follower numbers. I think if someone wants to sit there for 10 minutes and really enjoys the stream and wants to hit that follower mode, they probably genuinely like the stream. if they see how the community is, think it's funny, want to participate, it's like, damn, yeah, it kind of sucks that you do wait that 10-minute period, but it's going to feel really rewarding, and odds are it's someone that really likes the content that you're putting out. You're cutting back on your growth though if you enable that anytime prior to kind of that 500 viewer threshold, or even 1,000 if you really wanted to go at that point to do it, just because the retention's a lot different and the community activity is a lot different around that point too. And that's not to say, depending on the game that you stream as well, you'll have some people do more lurking than others. So that's something you also have to consider, that not to just disable it just because you have people that lurk more during certain games than others. So sub chat, you could throw on. I think follower mode, even if you're under 500 viewers and you get a hate rate, I would recommend throwing on follower mode for, honestly, I would throw it on. If you have to throw it on a month, you could start testing it, you and your mods, to see what cuts back on it, so you kind of know the time frame of when you got botted from those things, if it doesn't cut back from follower mode. But a lot of the times you'll see an influx of a bunch of people at once, and then the names just look super random, and you and mods can just start taking care of those. Sub-only chat also is a really good option, whether it be if chat's really triggering you as a larger streamer or a mid-sized creator. You know, that 500 viewer plus, if you have people spoiling things for you, I think sub-only chat's kind of a last resort. I know there's some larger streamers that have it on all the time. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it just kind of depends on how chat's acting. I will say my 2 cents is, I think there's a lot of large creators that are not quick enough to throw on sub-only mode and listen to too much bullshit from trolls. Another thing that a lot of people do not know about is R9K mode. So /R9K beta will enable chat into R9K mode. R9K beta off, no spaces. None of them have spaces, by the way, will disable R9K beta mode. R9K mode is really good if you are being mass spammed. It looks for spam messages with unique patterns if like raids and stuff get out of control. A lot of people don't know about that. It's not a default thing that you can throw out on Twitch. When you type /R9K, like, you're not going to see it. You have to kind of just know the command. I don't know why that's the way that it is, but I knew about it because my buddies had known about it back in the day. But that can help you a lot in terms of hate raids. I'm sure there's ways that people will get around it, but most people that have that enabled, a lot of people on websites that bot don't know really how to get around that. So that'll help a lot. It might have one person type it, but then the rest of them aren't going to be able to do it. And then when they continue to try and follow, you'll be able to see those usernames that are similar, and you can deal with it kind of more discreetly. It looks like you can actually use the command, by the way, with the, okay, so you can turn it on with unique chat. That's what they've called it. So you can see that. Okay, so instead of R9K beta, you can literally type /unique chat and unique chat off. So it is on Twitch when you type the /. It's just they've renamed it from what it used to be. So my apologies on that. But that helps a lot if you're dealing with hate raids. Educating your mods on how to use those. Being able to quickly access your dashboard, I think, is really helpful as well with dealing with hate raids. If you need to quickly throw on follower mode, if you need to throw on sub mode, if you need to throw on, you know, the unique chat, and have explaining to your mods how that works, sharing the resources and stuff with them. Bots, in terms of moderation bots, I would really recommend Nightbot and or Fossabot. I prefer Fossabot, but I do have both Nightbot and Fossabot in my channel. Fossabot is actually developed through Aiden. He is a fantastic dev. He actually does some stuff because he's so good with bots and stuff. He actually got hired out, I believe, to do dev work from Twitch. Like, I can't remember how long it was ago. 2 or 3 years ago, I'm pretty certain, but it's a super smooth website. He's constantly putting updates out for it. He has a nuke command that's really useful when dealing with hate raids and things like that. It's been a thing for a while, and they just re-talked about it. I've known about it for a while. It's a lot cleaner and loads faster than like Nightbot or HNL bot, which I think HNL bot's dead. I don't think it's around anymore. It's free. It's not like MooBot where you have to pay for features. You have commands that are easier to set up. You can have it search through keywords. You can have it use timers. There's channel filters that you can put on for it, that like caps filters, links filters, clips filters. It doesn't allow people to linking certain Twitch clips in chat. Like with the clips filter, aside from your channel, you can whitelist your channel through there. That's the one that I use over Twitch. There's an emotes filter you can do. Timeout uses for excessive use of emotes. There's a length message filters, so if you don't want people walling off chat with huge paragraphs, you can enable that. There's a repetition filter. that can be very useful for dealing with people that spam. You kind of have to be careful with the repetition filter though, because otherwise it can, if there's some people that just like to react with, you know, kekw lol or what, any laughing emotes or like to use kappas and stuff, that can kind of bite them in the ass. I don't have it enabled, but that would be a really good option to throw on if you're being rated, is using that repetition filter. The symbol filter is really nice if there's things that people type, like again, symbols, like text symbols, that will time them out. If it's excessive, you can set the parameters for that, what the minimum characters in a message have to be. There's a one-man spam filter that is literally on there. Timeout users excessively spamming across multiple messages and chat. Zolgo's filter. It's called the Zolgo filter. This is all on Fossabot, by the way. Timeout users that post messages with characters that are disruptive and span over other chat lines in chat. So when you see people just, and it's, again, really nasty ones. There's another one that's the malware link filter. Have no malicious links automatically removed from chat with a list managed by the Fossabot team for you. I have that on. Really nice filter. You don't have to worry about people clicking on random nasty links or masked links. There's also a hidden ping filter. Timeout users who exploit the known Twitch bug to ping people secretly. There's a lot of stuff, and they add in a lot of stuff as it goes or as they think is kind of deemed fit. Again, there's also a way that you can support these guys. I believe that there is a Patreon or something for Fossabot, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can support them through Patreon. They have it linked kind of at the bottom. It's really discreet, but if you use Fossabot, I would really recommend looking into it. Aiden and all of the rest of the team on there does a fantastic job. I think it's the best bot that you can use. If there's other things like reaction stuff that you still like with Nightbot, which is only really what I use Nightbot for, you can use that. But I mean, that's kind of it. You can have Fossabot do live tweet stuff or have output live tweet stuff for you when you go live. There's a lot of really cool shit. So I hope that this video, it's a long video, but I hope it helped you out. Use your moderation tools, educate yourself. Again, I think people really underestimate the amount of tools that they have or don't know a lot of the tools that are out there, but I promise you, you have so much more control over your community than a lot of people give yourselves credit for. A lot of you give yourself credit for, or a lot more than creators believe that they do. So I really recommend any platform, whether it be Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. When you're thinking of creating content, educate yourself on the moderation tools that you have access to. It will help you out a lot. It'll help you with dealing with nasty scenarios that pop up. And I do want to say too, it's also good to educate yourself because every platform deals with a bot issue, and there's only so much we can do or the platform can do to combat it. The rest of that is kind of up to us. So I hope these tools really help you guys out a lot. Again, they help me out a lot. I really don't have issues with a lot of this stuff because of the tools, we know how to use it with a bot, with Twitch, with my moderation team on how to deal with a lot of this stuff. So I hope this all can be useful for you guys too. I hope this makes your guys' streaming career a lot easier. It makes it easier relieving a load off of the moderation team and all that jazz. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Please feel free to share this video if you found it useful. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Sub for other stuff. Please leave comments of other videos you would like to know down below, or anything you would find you think more useful that you would like me to make a video on. I would love to hear it. But I hope this is really helpful for you guys. Leave a thumbs up, sub down below. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. You can catch me on all my other social media, which is the exact same as here on my YouTube. It's Kruzadar, Kruzadar. Feel free to go check it out. And yeah, that's it. Hope it helped, guys. Peace.